And they learned that the owner's second died of a gunshot wound some 4+ years before. Paul answered that he had no interest in speaking to her because he had committed suicide by shooting himself on account of her infidelity. This story perfectly demonstrates how shallow our material relationships actually are. People have an inherent desire to form lasting and reliable connections with others, don't we? Do we or do we not? That's all we think about and talk about mostly. Yes. We have so many deep memories in our memory banks from 53, 54 years, 56 years ago when we found Krishna consciousness. But then we also formed a couple of relationships, of which a lot of suffering accrued. I don't think there's a person in this room that hasn't experienced how, although we came to a spiritual institution and gave our life and became absorbed, but yet, even within that context, this boy was from Mathura. He was a Mathura Vasi. Okay? So some kind of special Sukriti there. But we see that even in spiritual institutions, of which the motivation is at least partly to serve Krishna, right? But there's a lot of other admixtures which result in a hell of a lot of suffering. Not to mention any names. One devotee, because of his wife's infidelity, shot another devotee and killed him. Right there in New Dwarka. Yeah. Then he had to go to prison for so many years. Yeah. So my point, I'm just backing up what we just heard from the Indian newspaper, okay? And there's millions of more examples of all of this. So we shouldn't fool ourselves and think that we are immune. Actually, that's Krishna's causeless mercy when he gives us suffering. Yes, because we learn from that. Samskaras are created, which enable us to now go for the real thing. Go for pure bhakti, which is the purpose that we have come for. Okay, so now people have an inherent desire to form lasting and reliable connections with others. The problem is that most people do not realize that the relationship we are truly longing for is what? Most people don't realize that the relationship that we're truly longing for is with Lord Krishna. That's the actual relationship. But they don't realize. So this is what we actually desire. This is what we actually desire. The soul's pure relationship with Krishna is eternal. And any other relationship of this world is temporary. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta further defined relationship or sambandha as meaning the bond or the connection that brings two living entities together. That's called sambandha. So people tend to think that their bodies are the most important aspect of their existence. But a material body is simply a product of Krishna's external energy. And without the presence of the spirit soul, which is Krishna's marginal spiritual energy, a body is nothing more than a lifeless lump of matter. Remember our prasadam prayer? Oh my dear Lord, this material body is a... That's deeply embedded. So, this material body is nothing more than a lifeless lump of matter without the presence of the spirit soul, which is Krishna's marginal spiritual energy. So that's the fact. Now Krishna has innumerable names. Hrishikesha is one name which means that he is the master of all Hrishika senses. This includes the senses of human beings and every other living entity in the whole creation. Yeah? And another name for Krishna is Madan Mohan, which means that he is so attractive that he bewilders even who? Cupid. We can see from the history of human affairs that Cupid can bewilder anyone. No living entity can escape from being perturbed by the effects of Cupid. This includes exalted personalities such as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. Lord Krishna is so attractive and he is so appealing that he entices and bewilders even Madan, who is Cupid himself. So knowing these things, we can deduce that we must also be attracted to Krishna, and we must have an eternal connection with him. This relationship is what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada came to this world to preach. So that's his introduction. Now he begins the discussion by discussing the teachings of the Gaudiya Sampradaya, which we have been studying in our lives. Yes? The teachings of the Gaudiya Sampradaya. So before Srila Prabhupada's divine appearance, many acharyas, they were already teaching about bhakti, and they were teaching other related spiritual practices. And out of all of these acharyas, it was Srila Prabhupada who put special emphasis on the process of Rupanuga. So previous acharyas, they had come to this world, they had preached widely about how to worship the Supreme Lord according to time and according to circumstance. So among the many Vaishnava lines, prevalent worshipable deities include Nrsingadev, Vamana, Lord Ram, Vasudev, Lakshmi Narayan, and Radha Krishna. Now from among the four Vaishnava Sampradayas, Sri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayata Das, that is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he is responsible for propagating the speciality of Gaudiya Vaishnavism throughout the world. Is he not? Has anybody else done that? All throughout the entire world? No. He is responsible for that. When Prabhupada came across on the Jaladuta to fulfill that order of his, then he mentioned his name. We read that. How Prabhupada gave all credit. Sri Siddhanta Saraswati. Yes. By his strong desire, Tar Icha Balavan, by his strong desire, this message of Gauranga Mahaprabhu will go everywhere. So, he is responsible for propagating the speciality of Gaudiya Vaishnavism throughout the world. Now, in the history of Vaishnavism, only Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in 1486, disappeared in 1534. Only Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught the worship of Sri Sri Radha Krishna by the chanting of the holy names of the Lord with an emotional outpouring of Braja Prem Ras. Yes? Did Mahaprabhu do that? Did Mahaprabhu teach the worship of Sri Sri Radha and Krishna by the chanting of the holy names of the Lord? Did he do that? Which holy names? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, so he's saying that only Lord Chaitanya, in the whole history of Vaishnavism, he taught the worship of Sri Sri Radha Krishna by the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. And what was the essence of that chanting? With an emotional outpouring of Braj Prem Ras. Now we come to the point. So by this process, especially suitable for Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed the sweet, loving mood of service to Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. The nectarine service of Sri Sri Radha Krishna has been received in the disciplic chain of gurus who are followers of Srila Rupa Goswami, of Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami, of Ramananda Rai, Sikhi Mahiti, and other intimate associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's saying that this nectarine service has been received. It has been received in this disciplic succession. This exchange, Mahaprabhu also extensively explained the science of Krishna Bhakti to Srila Rupa Goswami. Yeah? Mahaprabhu explained to Srila Rupa Goswami. This exchange between Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami, this is recorded in Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's what? Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he further instructed Rupa Goswami to write literature to explain the science of Krishna Bhakti. And Rupa Goswami therefore wrote voluminously, producing valuable books such as Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Sri Ujjvala Nilamani, Sri Vidagdha Madhava Nataka, Sri Lalita Madhava Nataka, Sri Dan Keli Komudi, Sri Sri Chatu Pushpanjali, Sri Govinda Virudavali, and many stutis, prayers, and other works that explain the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy of Bhakti Rasa. So his whole presentation of this book, Rupanuga, is now putting into perspective everything. Where did this come from? Who is the person that gave this process in this world? Who did he give it to? And what did that person do when he would receive that process from Mahaprabhu? So that's Rupa Goswami, none other than him. And, yes, Rupa Goswami wrote so many works that explain the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy of Bhakti Rasa. That's what our philosophy is. This is a philosophy of Hare Krishna movement, Krishna consciousness movement. It goes by so many different names and institutional names. It is what? Krishna Bhakti Rasa Bhavitamati Kriyatam Apikutopi Labhyate. It is Krishna Bhakti Rasa. And this is what is being explained. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, Mahaprabhu also introduced a philosophy. Just like the four acharyas introduced a philosophy about Bhed and Abhed, oneness and difference. The whole Vedanta Sutra and the whole commentaries of the Vaishnavacharyas on this ultimate philosophical presentation of Srila Vyasadeva, summarizing all the philosophy of all the Upanishads and all the Vedas, called Vedanta Sutra. Veda Anta. It is the end of all knowledge. And in sutra form, it is being given. Sutra means very brief, very short, little statements, philosophical statements, which are pregnant with unlimited depth and meaning. So, Mahaprabhu, after those Vaishnavacharyas appeared in this world and gave their Vishishta, Dvaita, 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 like that, the four different, discussing Dvaita and Advaita, dualism and oneness, dualism and oneness. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also introduced a philosophy that completely explained all four of these in one. That all four of those could be absorbed into his philosophy. And what is that? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy of inconceivable, simultaneous oneness and difference. How can something be one and different at all? Achintya Bhed Tattva. The truth, the principle. Everything is inconceivably one and different with who? When we're talking about oneness and difference, what are we talking about? There's only one entity with whom everything is simultaneously one and different. And what is that entity? That entity is the Supreme Absolute Truth from which everything comes, and it happens to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, whose eternal spiritual form is what? A cowherd boy, Gopa, and whose eternal activities are playing a flute, Venukara. Gopa Vesh, he's dressed like a Gopa, and Venukar, he's holding a flute. Navakishore Natabara, and he's eternally a beautiful 16-year-old youth who's the best of all dancers, Natavara. These are the four things mentioned by Mahaprabhu to Sanatana Goswami in the beginning of his teachings to understand Krishna Tattva. So, this explains that the living entities, this Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, explains that the living entities possess the same qualities as the Lord. Yes. So no living entity is without these qualities. No living entity is without these qualities, even if they're covered by the lowest types of bodies. What? No, don't. Even though they're covered, the living entities who are in the insect forms, right? Do they also have the qualities of Bhagavan? Yes, in their pure Atma, they have, but covered. So, yes, the Lord is eternal, the Lord is cognizant, full of consciousness, full of knowledge, and the Lord is blissful. So is the individual soul. So in this way, the Lord and the individual soul, they are what? They're the same, qualitatively. Yeah. We never knew that before, did we? At least I didn't. Before I heard the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahaprabhu's philosophy, Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. I didn't know that every tiny little living entity has eternity, bliss, and knowledge in it. Did we know? No, we didn't know. And most people in the world today, they don't know that also. That's why they can just do whatever they want to the living entities, torture them, kill them, eat them. Because they don't understand that that living entity is exactly the same as they are. This vision of this oneness of all the living entities, Krishna speaks about that in the Bhagavad Gita. You know the verse? Which says, Pandita Samadarshana at the end. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastani Suni Chaiva Swapake Cha Pandita Samadarshana. So here Krishna has told Arjuna that the learned sage, Pandit, who has actually realized Samadarshana, he sees all living entities the same. And I remember the other day when we were reading the description of Srila Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Maharaj, that we were reading that he treated all living entities like this. He himself was like that. So, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, by dint of true Vidya. Vidya means realized knowledge. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavi Hastani. Brahmane means Brahmana. What is a Gavi? A cow. Hastina, elephant. Suni, Chaiva, Sopakecha. Shuni is what? A dog. And Swapake means what? A dog eater. So all these different categories, the learned sage sees equally. So, without spiritual knowledge, we cannot see equally. Just putting on my flashlight. So, the Lord is eternal, cognizant, and blissful, and so is the individual soul. In this way, the Lord and the individual soul are the same. But quantitatively, they are vastly different. And that's the problem that the Mayavadis have. And pseudo-Mayavadis. They try to say, you are God. We are all God. But that is a very misleading understanding. How can we be God? We cannot even control our passing of stool. And we're God? Huh? So, the Lord by His desire creates, and He maintains, and He destroys how many universes? Universes, plural. Not just this one. That is unlimited. We can't barely even comprehend how vast is our universe. But how many universes does the Lord create, maintain, and destroy? Billions. Billions of universes. So, the infinitesimal soul, he can never even imagine. It's not even possible for us to even imagine such immeasurable power, is it? Billions of universes? Even one universe? We can barely even imagine the power that Lord Brahma has, that he has obtained from Garbhodakshai Vishnu, to do what? To create planets. Is there anybody on this planet that can create a planet? No. Is there anyone that can create the species of life? No. Lord Brahma can. But he's just a jiva that is infinitesimal in size as we are. but yet by the Lord's will, he can receive that potency, that power from the Lord. This is very inconceivable. But what to speak of billions of universes? So that's what we're dealing with. Yeah, I remember one of Gurudev's quite often repeated statements was, many times I saw when he gave Harinam to different devotees like that. And then he gave them some katha. And very often Gurudev would mention that Krishna has unlimited power. He has unlimited power. He can do the impossible. He can make the impossible possible. What is impossible, he can make possible. No problem at all. That unlimited power that Krishna has enables Krishna to create a universe. In one moment, he can create a universe. And the next moment, he can destroy that universe. And then the next moment, he can again create a universe. So Gurudev would lead into the power that Krishna has invested in the holy names, in his own names. That unlimited power is fully invested in Krishna's names, he said. So, this same simultaneous difference and oneness is present in the different relationships that Lord Krishna exhibits with his eternal associates. Yes. This simultaneous difference and oneness, it's there in the different relationships that Krishna exhibits with his eternal associates. Now the Lord, with his devotees, right? Does Krishna sport with his devotees in Goloka Vrindavan? As one of them? As if he's like a human boy? Playing games like young human boys do? Yes. He plays in that way as if he is one of them. But yet, he remains the Supreme Lord. He remains always the Supreme Lord, although not exhibiting his divine opulence. So Srila Rupa Goswami, the dearmost disciple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he differentiated among the various features of the activities of Sri Sri Radha Govinda. And he realized the high position of their incomparably sweet conjugal dalliances. Then Rupa Goswami juxtaposed this realization to the simultaneous oneness and difference in Mahaprabhu's Achintya Bhed Abhed Tattva. So that's the first chapter. Second chapter is titled The Service to Srimati Radharani. And this chapter is like about 6 pages long. The Service to Srimati Radharani. Do we want to hear about this topic? The Service to Srimati Radharani? Yeah, that's a very interesting topic for us. The service to Srimati Radharani, Radha Dasyam. Yes? Radha Dasyam. Now all of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates and all of his followers, they accepted and they practiced the principles which were taught by Srila Rupa Goswami. Are those the same principles that Prabhupada came and gave to us and the whole world? The principles that are taught by Srila Rupa Goswami? Yes. How do we know that? How do we know that? Because Prabhupada also gave us the book of Rupa Goswami to prove that what he's teaching to us are the principles given by Rupa Goswami. What's the name of that book? Nectar of Devotion. Yes. So, all of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates and followers, they accepted and they practiced the principles taught by Srila Rupa Goswami. Each of the 6 Goswamis, they are factually, who are they? Each of these 6 Goswamis are factually forms of Radharani's divine qualities. That's who they are. They are her divine qualities manifested in the forms of these male personality associates of Mahaprabhu. So the 6 Goswamis, they accepted Radharani, who is the daughter of who? King Vrishabhanu Maharaj. These 6 Goswamis accepted Radharani, the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj, as their what? Their all in all. Their everything. These 6 Goswamis accepted her as their everything. And through the relationship, through that relationship of accepting her as their all in all, they easily achieved pure devotional service to Lord Krishna. Now, in their writings and by their examples, they have mercifully taught others how to be pure followers of who? Srimati Radharani. And how to serve Lord Krishna. So we are trying to become followers of Srimati Radharani, and also we are trying to serve Lord Krishna. But the follower of Srimati Radharani is the thing mentioned first. Because we cannot really serve Lord Krishna unless we become followers of Srimati Radharani. Now, before Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu did so, Srila Bilva Mangal Thakur and Srila Madhavendra Puri, they were teaching the bhakti path, were they not? Madhavendra Puri, did he teach the bhakti path? Yeah. What about Bilva Mangal Thakur, Krishna Karnamrita? Yes. They were teaching the bhakti path before Mahaprabhu. But what had they not done? They had not systematically preached the method of service to who? Srimati Radharani. Yeah. After their contribution, then Mahaprabhu and his eternal associates, the 6 Goswamis, they firmly established the process of Radha Dasyam. Of what? Of what? Yes. That's a good term for us. Radha Dasyam. So, without service to Srimati Radharani, now we should take careful notice of this, because without service to Srimati Radharani, what will happen? Because we are not yet serving Srimati Radharani purely, but we are on our way. We are trying to imbibe these conceptions. That's why we're reading this book right now, by the way. So, without service to Srimati Radharani, it is difficult to achieve pure devotional service to Lord Krishna. Is it or is it not? Yeah, it is difficult. That's why Mahaprabhu gave their names in the 32-syllable, 16-word Mahamantra. And that's why Prabhupada explained in his first lecture on chanting Hare Krishna that what is the chanting? It is a call to who? It is an evocative case. It is a calling out to who? Hare, which is the vocative case for Hara, which means Radha Rani. O energy of the Supreme Lord. O Supreme Lord, Krishna. And then what does Prabhupada say after that? He says, please engage me in your service. So this is actually a call to be engaged in the service of who? Of Radharani, who is serving Krishna. Hare Krishna. And then what does Prabhupada say? Mother what? Hara. He says, Mother Hara helps us in achieving the grace of the Supreme Father, Hari. It's very... And who is Prabhupada quoting when he's giving this translation of the Mahamantra? Who is he quoting? Huh? No. He's quoting the commentary that Gurudev revealed to us in his little book on chanting the Harinam Mahamantra. And there's a number of different commentaries there. And whose commentary was Prabhupada basing his on? That little lecture on chanting? Gopal Guru Goswami. Yes. Read that and see. Prabhupada is just giving the very, very, very tiny, concentrated form of what Gopal Guru Goswami is telling. But he told it directly. Mother Hara helps us in achieving the grace of the Supreme Father Hari. Yes. So without service to Srimati Radharani, it is difficult to achieve pure devotional service to Lord Krishna. So what we're reading here is exactly what those exalted Mahabhagavad Vaishnavas were discussing together in that little incident back in 1986, right? This is what they were discussing. Each one of these points. And gradually, Srila Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Maharaj is giving us the context of everything, because that's what they discussed. This whole book is his notes, taken right after that conversation. He tried to remember everything, all the different points that were being made. So this all builds the foundation through which we can begin to enter into what? Radha Dasyam. Now, he says in the 9th verse, he gives a lot of, in this chapter, he gives a lot of verification from Shastra and Praman and evidence to prove. So now he's quoting actually Rupa Goswami's Sri Upadeshamrita. And he's quoting the 9th verse. What is the 9th verse? Vaikuntaj janito vara madhupuri tatrapi rasotsavat. So, Rupa Goswami mentions the topmost place in all the creation in this verse, 9th verse. He mentions it in the 9th, in the 10th, and in the 11th. Because the conclusion of each one of those 3 verses, out of 11 verses, are talking about what? The topmost place in the whole creation. And how favorable that place is for entering into what? Radha Dasyam. So he quotes the verse, Vaikuntaj janito vara madhupuri tatrapi rasotsavat Vrindaranya mudara pani ramanat tatrapi govardhana Radha kunda mihapi gokulapate Premamrita plavanat Kuryad asya virajato giritate Sevam viveki naka. So at the end of this verse, Rupa Goswami is saying Sevam Viveki Naka. Who? Ka means who. Who amongst those persons who are very, very discriminating, intelligent persons, they're called Viveki, because they can do Vivek. They can discriminate, they can look at something and then they can analyze it very carefully. So Rupa Goswami is saying, who is there amongst Vivekis who can do that will not come to this final conclusion, and they will be unwilling to serve Radhakunda? Oh, no. If a person is a real Viveki, they will do this. I'm reading the translation. The holy place known as Mathura. It is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha. So when you go to Mathura and you go to Braj Mandala, guess what? You're actually inhabiting the space in an inconceivable area that is actually even superior to the whole Vaikuntha universes. The whole Vaikuntha planetary systems, which are infinite. But this place, on the Earth planet that we can physically go to, but to go there spiritually is another thing. But to some degree, because we are trying to be devotees, we can go. So Rupa Goswami has given us the hierarchy of the spiritual world in terms of superiority. This is superior to this, this is superior to this, like that. So he says the holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha. Okay, now the transcendental world, Vaikuntha, Mathura is superior. Why? And what is the reason? Because the Lord appeared there. Vaikuntha Janito. Janito means the Lord appeared there. But which form of the Lord appeared there? Rupa Goswami is not telling it in the verse. But do we believe? Do the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, who are worshippers of Radha and Krishna in Braj, do we believe that the Lord actually appeared there? Yes, we do. We do believe. But we believe that He's not the original. He's the expansion of the original. Correct? Yes. Is He the son of Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda? Is He? No. Who is He the son of? Vasudeva and Devaki. So the reason why Mathura is superior to Vaikuntha is because the Lord appeared there. Krishna, Vasudeva Krishna appeared there. Now, superior to Mathura Puri is what? No. You're skipping ahead. Yes, the transcendental forest of Vrindavan, Vrindaranyam. Udarapani Ramanat. Okay. So, superior to Mathura Puri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan because of what? Rasotsavad. Rasotsavad means the Rasa Utsav, the Rasa dance. That took place in Vrindavan. Did it take place in Mathura? No. But in Vrindavan, the Rasa dance took place, which makes it far superior. Krishna ever dance Ras Leela with the gopis? Never. Can he dance with the queens? No. Now, here's the next increment of hierarchy. Superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill. But now, why? What is the reason why Govardhan Hill is superior to the forest of Vrindavan where Krishna dances his Ras Leela? Huh? Anjali has her hand up. She wants to answer this question. Oh my God, okay. Oh, that's, look, here's the answer. Because Govardhan Hill was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna, as well as being the site of his loving pastimes, his pastimes of love. That's why Govardhan Hill is so far superior, even to the forest of Vrindavan. Now, is there something above Govardhan? Yes, there is. And above all other places, the super excellent Shri Radha Kunda stands supreme. Radha Kunda stands supreme. Why? What's the reason? There has to be a reason for each one of these places being superior to the other place. So what's the reason why Shri Radha Kunda stands supreme? Radha Kunda Mihapi Gokula Pate Premamrita Plavanat. You know what that means? Prema Amrita Aplavanat. Huh? Why? Aplavanat means it's flooding over. It's overflowing. The Radha Kunda is overflowing with what? Yes, with ambrosial nectarine prem of the Lord of Gokula, Sri Krishna. Yes. Gokula Pate, not Mathura Pate. Gokula Pate. Prem is overflowing there. So there, now that Rupa Goswami has made this apparent, has explained the hierarchy of transcendental places in the entire creation. So he says, where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radha Kunda, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill? Who's unwilling? If they're really viveki. Now, the only way anyone can become a viveki is if they hear from the transcendentally realized personalities and they understand, oh, here's reality. They hear from Sadguru, who preaches Sat, eternal transcendental truth, Sat. They hear from Sadguru and they understand. Then they become viveki. But there has to be even a higher, criterion of vivek when it comes to this, what Rupa Goswami is giving here. That without knowing how exalted are these different places and how Radha Kund amongst all of them stands supreme, then we cannot fully comprehend how important it is to serve Shri Radha Kunda. So Srila Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Maharaj, he's giving us this, he's giving us this verse as his first praman in terms of Radha Dasyam. So now he says that Rupa Goswami's writings are rife with his contemplations of connect Radha. Yes. In Rupa Goswami's writings, there is multifarious references to how you can connect with Krishna by serving Radha. And now he gives an example. There is a book that is written by Rupa Goswami called Sri Chatu Pushpanjali. And verse number 23 of that book, Rupa Goswami, he records a very beautiful prayer to Radharani. Here's the prayer that Rupa Goswami records. Karuna muhur artaye param tava vrindavana chakravartini api kesha ripur yata bhavet sachatu prarthana bhajanam jana. O Queen of Vrindavan, moment after moment, I beg only for your kindness. By your kindness, may this person become able to offer proper prayers to Lord Krishna, the enemy of Keshi. Then he quotes Gandharva Samprartanashtakam. Do we? Yes, and verse number 2 of that Samprartanashtaka, as well as number 3, but especially number 2, are Gurudev. Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj used to say it every time before he spoke. In the beginning, when he came to the West, but then gradually he didn't say that. He didn't say it. Because Gurudev also said, when I first came, I thought I will be able to preach this Ragmarga Bhakti, Rupanuga Bhakti. But then, after some time, I saw I will also have to preach I will also have to cut jungles, like Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj did. I will also have to do, by preaching the Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti as well. But anyway, this is the prayer. It's a good prayer. Did you ever memorize this prayer? It's a really good one. I picked it out on my first parikrama that I went on with Gurudev, this is a good prayer to say every single place that I'm going to go to. In this entire parikrama, every single place that we go and visit, I'm going to say this prayer. I'm going to bow down and like a stick and say this prayer to Srimati Radhika, because Rupa Goswami has prayed this prayer. And if I can feel the way that Rupa Goswami is feeling when he says this prayer, that will help me a lot in my attempt. So what is that prayer that Gurudev used to always say? Ha Devika Kubara Gadgadaya Dyavacha Yache Nipatya Bhuvi Dandavadudvatarati Asya prasadamabudasya janasya kritva gandharvike tavagane gananam videhi gandharvike nijagane gananam videhi. You know the meaning? Okay. I'm assigning to the students, which I also am, in this classroom, that we should memorize that verse in the coming week. You know how to do it? Write it down on a little card or piece of paper and look at it 3, 4, 5 times a day and speak it. And then read the translation of it. Guarantee after 1 week you'll be able to say this prayer by memory. Is that true or not? Huh? Yeah? Yes, it's true. It's about time if we haven't memorized it, so it's a good time We're all right here in Navadvip Dham, and that should be one of our functions, of writing verses down and saying them and repeating them and trying to commit them somehow or other to memory, because this is part of our sadhana. It helps a lot. It helps a lot for our sadhana bhajan. So, the meaning of this verse by Rupa Goswami, number 2 of his Harva Samparta. Srimati Radharani is being called Gandharva. Did you know that that's her name? Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, he also gave that name to his deities just here in Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat. Gandharva Govinda Sundar. Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur named his deities Gandharvika, Giridhari, there at Sri Chaitanya Mat. So, Gandharva Samprartanashtakam means a very, very earnest prayer to her, to Srimati Radharani. So this verse is saying, Ha Devi, O Devi Gandharvika, in utter desperation, I throw myself on the ground like a stick, and with a choked voice, I humbly implore you to please be merciful to this fool and to count me as one of your very own. Nijagane. Gurudev replaced the word Tavagane with Nijagane. Actually, the verse is Tavagane, yours. But Nija means your very own. Then he's quoting the second verse also. Only these 2 verses from Gandharva Samprartanashtakam. I think I'll finish with this for today's class. Yeah, I'll finish with this. Shyame Rama Ramanara Sundarata Varishta Sundarya Mohita Samasta Jagaj Janasya Shyamasya Vama Bhujad Badha Tanum Kadaham Tvam Indira Virala Rupa Bharam Bhajami. O Srimati Shyama. Did Gurudev write a song with the name Shyama? And did he also put the name of Krishna next to Shyama's name? What is that name? Shyam. Shyam and Shyama. So Srimati Radhika is Shyama and Krishna is Shyam. So, O Srimati Shyama, your master, who's her master? Krishna. Your master is even more charming than Narayan Bhagavan. And his beauty enchants the entire creation. You are always at his left side, embraced by his arm. And your beauty cannot ever be equaled even by that of Lakshmi Devi. When will I have properly worshipped such beauty? So very wonderful quotations. And we'll continue on in our class on Tuesday to complete this chapter and go into the next chapter, the process of Rupanuga Bhajan. So in this way, Srila Bhakti Jivan Jadardhan Goswami Maharaj, he quoted these verses to churn this topic. What does Radha Dasyam mean? What does service to Srimati Radharani mean? Why do we serve Srimati Radharani? So all of these supportive verses are there, and that's what they discussed. They quoted these verses, and they churned it, and they discussed this. And gradually they led into the topic of Radha Dasyam. Yes. Why serve Srimati Radhika? Because all these verses will tell us why. And then we will understand what is our real position. That although we are told that Jiver Surupa Hoy Krishna Nitya Das, that the Swarup of every Jiva is the eternal, to be eternal servant of Krishna. Is that true or not? But then why are the six Goswamis teaching us that we should be the eternal servants of Srimati Radharani?
Because she's the best servant of Krishna, so to serve her would be more pleasure.
Yeah.
And the recognition of her is very pleasing.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot more to be understood about why we should serve Srimati Radhika. But actually, our absolute relationship with Krishna, which will, if we are supremely fortunate, that relationship with Sri Krishna, that eternal rati that we will have in Madhurya Rati with Sri Krishna, as it's developing into prem and revealing our rasa with Krishna, beginning in the stage of ruchi asakti, revelation is coming. And what the rasa that we actually have with Krishna permanently, and the spiritual form that we will be awarded, the eternal spiritual form that will enable us to serve Krishna. But the form of a manjari, a very intimate maid servant of Srimati Radharani, who are intimate maid servants of the most intimate maid servant, namely Rupa Manjari. All of those manjaris, their mood is very thoroughly discussed in Ujjvala Nilamani, all the different terminologies, but the main point is that they love Krishna, they love Radha even more than they love Krishna. Even more. And they, as we heard the other day, from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur about the Divan of Bharatpur and their mood of love for Krishna, it's based upon their dasyam to Krishna, that they like Srimati Radharani also. But in the line of Mahaprabhu, in the line of Rupa Goswami, in the line of the six Goswamis, Radha Dasyam is the primary mood. Serving Srimati Radharani is primary. Serving Krishna is secondary. Although Krishna becomes most pleased, more than any other service, when he sees that Srimati Radhika is being served so intimately, lovingly, and affectionately. But, I'm just speaking a few words here, but Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, at the end of his book, Sri Guru and His Grace, such an epic chapter he writes, describing how the line of Sri Rupa ultimately leads us to the apex, to the highest pinnacle of experiencing Mahabhav Prem. To experience Mahabhav Prem is only possible through who? Mahabhav Swarupini, Srimati Radhika. She is the embodiment of this Prem, and there are stages of Mahabhav. It is only through that mood of service to Srimati Radhika that the manjaris taste that as her remnants. They taste Mahabhav that she has enjoyed in her loving affairs with Sri Krishna. So there's a lot of reasons. We're going to hear more from Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Maharaj, who succeeded to completely become overwhelmed by these moods of Radha Dasyam. And he was overwhelmed with his loving mood of affection to Srimati Radharani, so much so that at the final moment of his leaving this body, he chanted Radhe, 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 Radhe. That was all. So we want that, I think. I think to have that kind of example shown by him, and his teachings are very essential, because ultimately this is what our Gurudev also came to give us. And ultimately this is what all of our Guru Varga, including Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Prabhupada, he ultimately came to give this. Because this is our line, the line of Sri Rupa. So I'm ending there. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubheva patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Rupanuga Bhajana ki jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Jivan Janardhan Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Radhe Jaya Krishna, Radhe Jaya Jaya Vishwabhanu Nandi, Radhe Radhe, Vishwabhanu Nandi, Radhe Radhe. Jaya Kalumana Mohini, Radhe Radhe, Kalumana Mohini, Radhe Radhe. Jaya Shishak Shiru, Radhe Radhe. Jaya Govinda Nandi Radhe Radhe Govinda Nandi Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe. Jaya Sachinanda, Jaya Gaurahari, Sachinanda, Jaya Gaurahari. Gaurahari, 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 Gaurahari. Jai Gaur Padmanabha Hari Hari Bol. Jai Vrindai Tulsidevi Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glory to the assembled devotees. Oh, I found out who's coming. Yeah, last night I had a talk with Madhusudan Prabhu, quite a nice talk, and I asked him, I said, where are all these people coming? We hear there's all these people that are coming on the 19th, and they're staying till the 29th. So I was under the impression that it was like just like a big group of people that are coming to Navadvip and they're gonna just do their thing, you know. But actually it's not.